Hey everybody, it's Julie Ebersol for EllenHudson.com, and in this Hello Monday, I'm going to be doing a direct-to-rubber ink blending technique on some solid stamp images. I like working with Avery Elle's pigment inks for this particular technique. You can use water-based inks, but I really love the look I get. It's a very unique kind of stippled effect that you can get using this particular pigment ink and sponge daubers. And I have a color palette that I'm working with up there in the upper right corner, so I went ahead and grabbed the ink pads that'll work for that, and I've got these airtight capped ink daubers. Now you can get the plain ones, but I love the ones with the airtight caps because then I can get a whole bunch of them. I dedicate them to specific ink colors and I never have to wash them out. And I've tossed the ones I need in a bowl here. And when I store them just like this so I can see what color they are. And this is just a 5x7 acrylic lid that I picked up at Walmart. And it's perfect. It slides right into my Alex IKEA unit and stores them perfectly. I'm going to be using the Snailed It stamp set for this technique because I love the images in this set and they work perfectly to show off this particular inking technique. So I'm going to load an A2 card 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch. This is Neenah Solar White, 110 pound. And I'm just planning my layout here. I masked off the gutter crease with that purple tape so I could get a visual on, where my images needed to fit there on the card front. And I had done some stamp surgery in the past on those mushrooms, but it's okay. You can just put them together when you mount them to whatever you're using as your mount. In this case, I'm using the Misty, but if you have an acrylic block, you can just stick them together on the block and they work just fine. Now, as I'm inking up, as I said before, I like to dedicate my ink daubers to color-specific inks. So I've got this jungle green, and I'm going to go ahead and ink up the image there on the lid of the Misty. It would be tricky to try to ink up the stamp with the full-size pad and not get that ink on the other images. So I like using the ink daubers, especially when I'm using the Misty for this. And I started with my lightest color first, and then I'm going to come in with my darker color, and this is the mermaid color. And you'll notice that I'm loading the ink from the ink pad onto the dauber from the corner of the ink pad. And I like to do this because there's inevitably going to be a little bit of transfer of the other colors of ink that I'm using on that stamp image, and it could contaminate my ink pad. So if I'm going to contaminate that pad, I would prefer to contaminate it in the outer corners than in the right smack dab in the middle of the ink pad. And if that happens, it's a problem that you can easily remedy by just taking a clean paper towel and dabbing that clean paper towel against the contaminated areas until you've lifted all that ink color out, and then you just re-ink your ink pad. And so I've never had a problem with this affecting these pigment ink pads, and so I don't worry about it too much. I just make sure that whenever I'm loading up the ink color, I stay towards the corner there, and that way cleanup is relatively easy and I don't have to worry about it. So now I've got all my images inked up. I'm going to go ahead and stamp these images all at one time. Just put some firm, even pressure there across the lid, and you can see there I've got this great shaded effect all at once. And the snail's shell was too large to fit as tightly as I wanted, close to his body there. So I just went ahead and tossed him onto an acrylic block and inked him up with some mustard ink using the full ink pad, and then I used the dauber to grab that jungle green color to do some shading there around the edges. And as you can see, I stuck towards the outer corner there so that I didn't have too much cross-contamination going on. And I've got this great shaded effect. I love the stippled look the sponge daubers and that Avery Elle pigment ink gives you. Now, I already stamped a greeting from another stamp set called Totally Random sayings, and I used the Have a Magical Day because I thought it was fun with the mushrooms there. But I noticed when I was trimming it out with my tonic guillotine trimmer that the handle was loose and it kept flopping down on me. So I went ahead and I was able to cut my sentiment there. But I just wanted to mention that if you ever have this issue where your handle is not staying up properly, it's probably because it's come loose, not because it's broken. And I just went and grabbed an Allen wrench from my husband's tools and found one that fit the little whatever screw thing there that keeps the handle going. And you don't want to over tighten it, but you do want to tighten it just enough that the handle will stay up when you let go of it so it doesn't get in your way or flop down on you. If you tighten it over much, you're going to end up not being happy with that because it will actually hit the platform and you might shave off part of your platform or you might nick your blade or whatever. So make sure you don't over tighten it. You just want it tight enough that the handle will stay up on you. So now I've gone ahead and taken my sentiment. I put some foam tape on it, got it mounted there in place onto my card front, and I'm going to use these fun embellishments. These are by High Supply, and Pretty Pink Posh also makes these clear dewdrops, and they come in different sizes. And I used On Point fine tip needle nose applicator glue to get those on there, and I squeegeed off some of the excess using a scrap strip of cardstock from my bin. So sometimes I get a little heavy-handed, so if you need to, you can squeegee those off with a piece of scratch paper. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. And if you do enjoy our videos, please subscribe to our channel and click on our other craft videos shown in the photos below. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.